Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Magyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapata Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrijatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarupyascha Kripa Sindhupyaeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashyadya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Narayanam Namaskritya, Naram Chaiva Narottamam, Devim Saraswatim Vyasam, Tato Jayamudhirayet. Srinvatam Svakata Krishna, Punyashravana Kirtana, Ridyandastoya Padrani, Vidunoti Suhritsatam, Nastaprayeshva Patreshu, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, Bhagavati Uttama Bhaktirbhavati Naishtiki. Before reciting this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the person of Godhead Narayana, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Shri Vyasadeva, the author. Sri Krishna, the person of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, super soul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the person of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. So today we continue 4, 7, 10. Tada prishadvaja dvesha kalilatma prajapiti Shivaloka Abhavash Sharadarat Ivamala. Tada, at that time, Prishatvaja, the Lord Shiva, who rides on a bull, Tvesha, envy, Kalila Atma, polluted heart, Prajapati, King Daksha, Shiva, Lord Shiva, Avalokat, by seeing him, Abhavat, became, Sharat, in the autumn, Harida, lake, Iva, like, Amala, cleansed. Translation. At that time, when Daksha saw Lord Shiva, who rides upon a bull, his heart, which was polluted by envy of Lord Shiva, was immediately cleansed, just as the water in the lake is cleansed by autumn rains. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Here is an example of why Lord Shiva is called auspicious. If one sees Lord Shiva with devotion and reverence, his heart is immediately cleansed. King Daksha was polluted by envy of Lord Shiva, and yet by seeing him with a little love and devotion, his heart immediately became cleansed. In the rainy season, the reservoirs of water become dirty and muddy, but as soon as the autumn rain comes, all the water immediately becomes clear and transparent. Similarly, although Daksha's heart was impure because of his slandering Lord Shiva, for which he was severely punished, Daksha now came to consciousness, and just by seeing Lord Shiva with veneration and respect, he became immediately purified. Text 11. Bhavastavaya kritadir nashaknodanuragata outkantyad bashpap kalaya samapretam shutam smaran. Bhavastvaya for praying to Lord Shiva. Kritadi, although decided, na, never. Ashaknot was able. Anuragata by feeling. Outkantyat because of eagerness. Bashpakalaya with tears in the eyes. Samaparetam dead. Sutam daughter. Smaran remembering. Translation. King Daksha wanted to offer prayers to Lord Shiva, but as he remembered the ill-fated death of his daughter Sati, his eyes filled with tears, and in bereavement his voice choked up, and he could not say anything. Text 12. Krichrad samstabhya cha mana prema vihvalita sudhi Shashamsa nirvyalikena bhavene sham prajapati. Krishrat with great endeavor. Samstabhya pacifying. Cha also. Manaha mind. Prema vihvalita bewildered by love and affection. Sudhi one who has come to his real senses. Shashamsa praised. Nirvyalikena without duplicity or with great love. Bhavena in feeling. Isham to Lord Shiva. Prajapati King Daksha. Translation. At this time, King Daksha, afflicted by love and affection, was very much awakened to his real senses. With great endeavor, he pacified his mind, checked his feelings with pure consciousness, with pure consciousness began to offer prayers to Lord Shiva. Text 13. Daksha Uvacha. Bhuyanugraha aho bhavata krito me tantastvaya mayi prito yati api pralabdha na brahma bandhu chavam bhagavan avagna tubhyam harescha kuta eva drita vrateshu. Daksha King Daksha Vacha said, Bhuyan very great. Anugraha favor. Aho alas. Bhavata by you. Krita done. Me upon me. Tanda punishment. Tvaya by you. Mayi unto me. Brita done. Yat api although. Pralabdha defeated. Na neither. Brahma bandushu unto an unqualified Brahmana. Cha also. Vam both of you. Bhagavan my lord. Avagna negligence. Tubhyam of you, Hare Cha, of Lord Vishnu, Kuta where, Eva certainly, Drita Vrateshu, one who is engaged in the performance of sacrifice. Translation. King Daksha said, My dear Lord Shiva, I committed a great offense against you, but you are so kind that instead of withdrawing your mercy, you have done me a great favor by punishing me. Both yourself and Lord Vishnu do not neglect even useless unqualified brahmanas. Why then should you neglect me, who am engaged in performing sacrifices? Purport. Although Daksha felt that he was defeated, he knew that his punishment was simply the great mercy of Lord Shiva. He remembered that Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu are never neglectful of the Brahmanas, even though they are sometimes unqualified. According to Vedic civilization, a person who is descendant of a Brahmana family should never be heavily punished. This was exemplified in Arjuna's treatment of Ashvatthama. Ashvatthama was the son of a great Brahmana, Dronacharya, and in spite of his committing the great offense of killing all the sleeping sons of the Pandavas, for which he was condemned even by Lord Krishna, Arjuna excused him by not killing him because he happened to be the son of a Brahmana. The word Brahmabandhu used here is significant. Brahmabandhu means a person who is born of a Brahmana father but whose activities are not up to the standard of the Brahmanas. Such a person is not a Brahmana, but is a Brahmabandhu. Daksha proved himself to be a Brahmabandhu. He was born of a great Brahmana father, Lord Brahma, but his treatment of Lord Shiva was not exactly Brahminical. Therefore, he admitted that he was not a perfect Brahmana. Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu, however, are affectionate even to an imperfect Brahmana. Lord Shiva punished Daksha, not as one does his enemy, but he punished him just to bring him to his senses so that he would know that he had done wrong. Daksha could understand this, and he acknowledged the great mercy of Lord Krishna and Lord Shiva towards the fallen Brahmanas, including even himself. Although he was fallen, his vow was to execute the sacrifice, as is the duty of Brahmanas, and thus he began his prayers to Lord Shiva. Vidya tapo vrata dharan mukadasma vipran brahmatma tatmama vidum brataha pratamam tvam ashrag tad brahmanan paramav sarva vipatsupasi palah pashuniva vipo pragrihita danda. Vidya, learning, tapa, austerities, vrata, vows, taran, the followers, mukata, from the mouth, sma, vas, oh. Vipran, the brahmanas, Brahma, Lord Brahma, atma tattvam, self-realization, avitum, to disseminate, pratamam, first, tvam, you, asrag, created, tat, therefore, Brahmanan, the Brahmanas, Parama, O Great One, Sarva, all, Vipatsu, in dangers, Pasi, you protect, Palaha, like the protector, Pasun, the animals, Iva, like Vibo, O Great One, Pragrita, taking in hand, Tanda, a stick, translation. My dear great and powerful Lord Shiva, you were created first from the mouth of Lord Brahma in order to protect the Brahmanas in pursuing education, austerities, vows, and self-realization. As protector of the Brahmanas, you always protect the regulative principles followed by them, just as a cowherd boy keeps a stick in his hand to give protection to the cows. Purport. The specific function of a human being in society, irrespective of his social status, is to practice control of the mind and senses by observing the regulative principles enjoined in the Vedic Shastras. Lord Shiva is called Pashupati because he protects the living entities in their developed consciousness, so that they may follow the Vedic system of Varna and Ashram. The word Pashu refers to the animal as well as to the human entity. It is stated here that Lord Shiva is always interested in protecting the animals and the animal-like living entities who are not very advanced in the spiritual sense. It is also stated that the Brahmanas are produced from the mouth of the Supreme Lord. We should always remember that Lord Shiva is being addressed as the representative of the Supreme Lord Vishnu. In the Vedic literature, it is described that the Brahmanas are born from the mouth of the universal form of Vishnu. The Kshatriyas are born from his arms, the Vaishyas are born from his abdomen or waist, and the Shudras are born from his legs. In the formation of a body, the head is the principal factor. The Brahmanas are born from the mouth of the Supreme Person of Godhead in order to accept charity for worship of Vishnu and to spread Vedic knowledge. Lord Shiva is known as Pashupati, the protector of the Brahmanas and other living entities. He protects them from the attacks of non-Brahmanas or uncultured persons who are against the self-realization process. Another feature of this world Another feature of this word is that persons who are simply attached to the ritualistic portion of the Vedas and do not understand the situation of the Supreme Person of Godhead are not any more advanced than animals. In the beginning of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, it is confirmed that even though one performs the rituals of the Vedas, if he does not develop a sense of Krishna consciousness, then all his labor in performing Vedic rituals is considered to be simply a waste of time. Lord Shiva's aim in destroying the Daksha Yagna was to punish Daksha because by neglecting him, Lord Shiva, Daksha was committing a great offense. Lord Shiva's punishment was just like that of a cowherd boy who keeps a stick to frighten his animals. It is commonly said that to give protection to animals, a stick is needed because animals cannot reason and argue. Their reasoning and argument is argumentum ad baculum. Unless there is a rod, they do not obey. Force is required for the animalistic class of man, whereas those who are advanced are convinced by reason, arguments, and scriptural authority. Persons who are simply attached to Vedic rituals without further advancement of devotional service or Krishna consciousness are almost like animals. And Lord Shiva is in charge of giving them protection and sometimes punishing them, as he punished Daksha. Haribol. Rishikesh Prabhu, would you like to read next?
Yes, I can read.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu.
Text 15. Yoso vidita tatvadarshasabhyam shipto turukti vishikhair vikramaya tanmam arvat patantam arhatama nityavayat dayapad drishyartraya sa bhagavan swakritena tushyet. Synonyms. So we can zoom out. Yah, who, also that, Maya, by means, Aviditva Tattva, without knowing the actual facts, Drisha, by experience, Sabhyam, in the assembly, Shipta was abused, Durukti, unkind words, Vishikai, by the arrows of Viganaya, taking no notice of that Mami Arvak, downwards, Patantam, gliding down to hell, Arhatama, the most respectable, Nindaya, by defamation, Apat saved, Drishtya sin, Ardraya, out of compassion, Saha, that Bhagavan, your lordship, Swakritena, by your mercy, Tushyati, be satisfied, Tushyat, be satisfied. Translation: Logos Vice Join Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. I did not know your full glories. For this reason, I threw arrows of sharp words at you in the open assembly. Although you did not take them into account, I was going down to hell because of my disobedience to you, who are the most respectable personality. But you took compassion upon me and saved me by avoiding punishment. I request you that be pleased by your own mercy, since I cannot satisfy you by my words. Purport. As usual, a devotee in an adverse condition of life accepts such condition to be the mercy of the Lord. Factually, the insulting words used by Daksha against Lord Shiva were enough to have him thrown perpetually into a hellish life. But Lord Shiva, being kind toward him, awarded him punishment to neutralize the offense. King Daksha realized this, and feeling obliged for Lord Shiva's magnanimous behavior, he wanted to show his gratitude to him. Sometimes a father punishes his child, and when the child is grown up and comes to his senses, he understands that the father's punishment was not actually punishment but mercy. Similarly, Daksha appreciated that the punishment offered to him by Lord Shiva was a manifestation of his mercy. That is a symptom of a person who is making progress on the path of Krishna consciousness. It is said that a devotee in Krishna consciousness never takes any miserable condition of life to be the condemnation by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He accepts that miserable condition to be the grace of the Lord. He thinks, I would have been punished or put into a more dangerous condition of life due to my past misdeeds, but the Lord has protected me. Thus, I have received only a little punishment as a token of execution of the law of karma. Thinking of His grace in that way, a devotee always surrenders to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. More and more seriously, and is not disturbed by such so-called punishment. Maitreya Uvacha, verse 16. Maitreya Uvacha, Shipya Shamapya Vam Sa Midvam Sam Brahmana Chanu Mantrita Karma Santa Santana Ayamsa Sopadhya Yartvik Adibi. Synonyms: Maitreya, the sage Maitreya, Uvacha said, Shama, forgiveness, Apya, receiving, Evam, thus, Saha, King Daksha, Mitvam Sam, unto Lord Shiva, Brahmana, along with Lord Brahma, Cha, also, Anumantrita, being permitted, Karma, the sacrifice, Shantana, Yamasa, begin again, Sa, along with Upadhyaya, learned sages, Ritvik, the priests, Adivi, and others. Translation: the great sage Maitreya said, thus being pardoned by Lord Shiva, King Daksha, with the permission of Lord Brahma, again began the performances of Yajna, along with the great learned sages, the priests, and others. Text 17. Vaishnavanam Yajna Santat Yai Trikapalam Dvijottama Purodhasam Niravapan Virasamsarga Shuddhaye. Vaishnavanam meant for Lord Vishnu or his devotees. Yajna, sacrifice. Sant, Santat Yai, for performances. Trikalpam, three kinds of offerings. Dvija Uttama, the best of the Brahmanas. Purodasam, the oblation called Purodasa. Nirvapan, Nirvapan, offered. Virabhadra, and other followers of Lord Shiva. Samsarga, contamination. Dosha, due to his touching. Shuddhaye, for purification. Translation: thereafter, in order to resume the activities of sacrifice, the Brahmanas first of all arranged for purification of the contamination caused by the touch of Virabhadra and other ghostly followers of Lord Shiva. They then arranged to offer the oblations known as Puro Dasa into the fire. Purport: Lord Shiva's followers and devotees, headed by Virabhadra, are known as Veeras, and they are ghostly demons. Not only did they pollute the entire sacrificial arena by their very presence, but they disturbed the whole situation by passing of stool and urine. Therefore, the infection they had created was to be first purified by the method of offering Purodasa oblations. A Vishnu Yajna, or an offering to Lord Vishnu, cannot be performed uncleanly. If anything is offered in an unclean state, that is called Shri Paradha. The Vishnu deity worship in the temple is also Vishnu Yajna. In all Vishnu temples, therefore, the priest who takes care of the Archana Vidhi must be very clean. Everything should be always kept neat and clean, and the foodstuffs should be prepared in a neat and clean manner. All these regulative principles are described in the Nectar of Devotion. There are 32 kinds of offenses in discharging Archana service. It is required, therefore, that one should be extremely careful not to be unclean. Generally, whenever any ritualistic ceremony is begun, the holy name of Lord Vishnu is first chanted in order to purify the situation. Whether one is a pure or whether one is in a pure or impure condition, internally or externally, if one chants or even remembers the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, he immediately becomes purified. Prabhu, you can scroll down. The Yajna arena was desecrated by the presence of Lord Shiva's followers, headed by Virabhadra, and therefore the entire arena had to be sanctified. Although Lord Shiva was present and he is all auspicious, it was still necessary to sanctify the place because his followers had broken into the arena and committed so many obnoxious acts. That sanctification was possible only by the chanting of the name of holy name of Vishnu, Trikalpam, which can sanctify the three worlds. In other words, it is admitted herein that the followers of Lord Shiva are generally unclean. They are not even very hygienic. They do not take baths regularly. They wear long hair and they smoke ganja. Persons of such irregular habits are counted amongst the ghosts. Since they were present in the sacrificial arena, the atmosphere became polluted and it had to be sanctified by offering of Trikapala oblations, which indicated the invocation of Vishnu's favor. Thank you, Prabhu. If someone wants to continue.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Siddharth
Krishna
Prabhu,
Prabhu,
can
Danda
you
Pranam,
translate?
Jai Prabhupada. I'll
You
read
want to
Prabhu
read?
for a while.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, could you just give me the revision of what I missed for the last 20 minutes? Just a quick brief.
Yes, Prabhu. We read few verses only.
Virabhadra has come into the picture, so is he Shiva?
Oh, he was already there, but now they are asking forgiveness.
Yeah.
But Daksha is asking forgiveness. He's praying to Lord Shiva now.
Daksha.
Because Lord Shiva,
Daksha is praying to Lord Shiva by asking for forgiveness.
yes, Prabhu. Now he arrived because when he saw Lord Shiva, he got purified.
Okay.
Then now he's offering the prayers.
Okay. All right, Prabhu, let's resume. Hare Krishna. अध्वर्यो नाथ हाविषा यजमानो विशाम्पते धिया विशुद्धया दद्यौ तथा प्रादुर् हरिः अध्वर्युना with the Yajurveda atta atta taking havisha with clarified butter Yajamana King Daksha Vishame Pate O Vidura Dhiya in meditation Vishuddhaya sanctified Dadyau offered Tatha immediately Praduhu manifest Abhut became Hari the Lord. Translation: The great sage Maitreya said to Vidura, "My dear Vidura, as soon as King Daksha offered the clarified butter with Yajurveda mantras in sanctified meditation, Lord Vishnu appeared there in his original form as Narayana." Purport: Lord Vishnu is all-pervading. Any devotee in sanctified meditation, following the regulative principles, chants the required mantras in service and in a devotional mood can see Vishnu. Prabhu, the meaning of Vishnu is all pervading, right? I think it's there in Mani quotes, the meaning of Vishnu. I read it, I think it is all pervading.
Yes, Prabhu, he's in the fire. Also, he's the fire.
Okay. It is said in Brahma Samhita that a devotee whose eyes are anointed with the ointment of love of Godhead can see the Supreme Personality of Godhead always within his heart. Lord Shama Sundara is so kind to his devotee. Text 9. Tada Swaprabhaya Tesham Dyotanyatyadisho Dasha Mushnamasteja Upanitas Darkshena Stotra Vajina. Tata, at the time, Swaprabhaya, by his own effulgence, Tesham, all of them, Dyotantya, brightness, Dishaha, directions, Dasha, 10, Ushnan, diminishing, Teja, effulgence, Upanitaha, brought, Tarkshneya, by Garuda, Strota Vajina, whose wings are called Brihat and Rathantara. Translation: Lord Narayana was seated on the shoulder of Stotra or Garuda, who had big wings. As soon as he appeared, all directions were illuminated, diminishing the luster of Brahma and the others present. Purport: a description of Narayana is given in the following two shlokas. Text 20. Shyamo Hiranya Rasano Arkha Kirita Justo Nila Laka Brahmara Mandita Kundalasya Shankabja Chakrashara Chapa Gadasi Charma Vyagrair Hiranyamaya Bhujair Iva Karani Karaha Shama, blackish. Hiranya Rasana, a garment like gold. Arka Kirita Justaha, with a helmet as dazzling as the sun. Neela Alaka, bluish curls. Brahmara, big black bees. Mandita Kundala Asyaha, having a face decorated with earrings. Shankaha, conch shell. Abja, lotus flower. Chakra, wheel. Shara, arrows. Chapa, bow. Gadha, club. Asi, sword. Charma, shield. Vyagrai, filled with Hiranmaya, golden bracelets and bangles. Mujai, with hands. Eva, as Karanikaraha, flower tree. Translation: his complexion was blackish. His garment was of yellow color, like gold. His helmet was dazzling as the sun. His hair was bluish, the color of black bees. And his face was decorated with earrings. His 8 hands had a conch shell, wheel, club, lotus flower, arrow, bow, shield, sword, and they were decorated with golden ornaments such as bangles and bracelets. His whole body resembled a blossoming tree, beautifully decorated with various kinds of flowers. Prabhu, if you can go back, like it's told that Shama is black. Isn't Vishnu usually present as blue color?
Yes, Prabhu, like blackish.
Bluish black, okay, cool. His complexion is blackish. The face of Lord Vishnu, purport, the face of Lord Vishnu as described in this verse appears like a lotus flower with bees humming over it. All of the ornaments on the body of Lord Vishnu are of molten gold, of the reddish gold color of the morning sunrise. The Lord appears just as the morning sun rises to protect the whole universal creation. His arms display different weapons, and his 8 hands are compared to the 8 petals of a lotus flower. All the weapons mentioned are for the protection of his devotees. Generally, in the four hands of Vishnu, there are a wheel, a club, conch shell, and lotus flower. These four symbols are seen in four hands of Vishnu in different arrangements. The club and the wheel are the Lord's symbols of punishment for the demons and miscreants. Wow, this I didn't know. The club, Sudarshan Chakra, the club is mace, okay. And the wheel, Sudarshan Chakra, are the Lord's symbols of punishment for the demons and miscreants. And the lotus flower and conch shell, are used to benedict the devotees. There are always two classes of men, the devotees and demons. It is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 4.8 that Paritranayana Sadhunam. The Lord is always ready for the protection of devotees and annihilation of the demons. There are demons and devotees in this material world, but in the spiritual world, there is no such distinction. In other words, Lord Vishnu is the proprietor of both material and spiritual worlds. In the material world, almost everyone is of demonic nature, but there are also devotees who appear to be in the material world, although they are always situated in the spiritual world. A devotee's position is always transcendental and is always protected by Lord Vishnu. What a beautiful verse. Text 21. Vakshasi adhishrita bhadur vana malye udara hasavaloka kalaya ramayam cha visham parshva hamad vyajana chamara rajahamsa shveta patra shashino pari rajamanaha vakasi sorry vakshasi on the could you come down a bit, Prabhu? Just a bit. I didn't read that first line of no, up, can go up a little. Vakshasi on the chest, Adhishrita situated, Vadavu, a woman, the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, Vanamali, garlanded with forest flowers, Udara, beautiful, Hasa, smiling, Avaloka, glance, Kalaya, with a small part, Ramayan, pleasing, Cha, and Vishwam, the whole world, Pashava, side, Brahmat, moving back and forth, Vyajana Chamara, white yak tail hair for spanning, Raja Hamsa, swan, Shweta Akpatra, Shashina, with the white canopy like the moon, Upari, above, Rajyamanaha, looking beautiful. Translation: Lord Vishnu looked extraordinarily beautiful because a goddess of fortune and a garland was situated on his chest. His face was beautifully decorated with a smiling attitude which can captivate the entire world, especially the devotees. White hair fans appeared on both the sides of Lord like white swans, and the white canopy overhead looked like the moon. Purport: the smiling face of Lord Vishnu is pleasing to the whole world. Not only devotees but even non devotees are attracted by such a smile. This verse nicely describes how the sun, moon, eight petal lotus flower, and humming black bees were represented by the fans of hair, the overhead canopy, the moving earrings on both sides of his face, and his blackish hair, all together accompanied by the conch shell, wheel, club, lotus flower, bow, arrows, shield, and sword in his hands. These presented a grand and beautiful audience for Lord Vishnu, which captivated all the demigods there, including Daksha and Lord Brahma. तम उपागतम आलक्ष्य सर्वे सुरा गणाधयः प्राणे मुहु सह सोथय Brahmendratryakshanayakaha him upagatam arrived Alakshya after seeing survey all Suragana Adhayaha, the demigods and others, Prame Pranemuhu, obeisances, Sahasya immediately, Utthaya after standing up, Brahma, Lord Brahma, Indra, Lord Indra, Traksha, Lord Shiva, who has three eyes. Nayakaha led by. Translation. As soon as Lord Vishnu was visible, all the demigods, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, the Gandharvas, and all present there immediately offer their respectful obeisances by falling down straight before him. Purport. It appears that Lord Vishnu is the supreme Lord, even of Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. What to speak of demigods, Gandharvas, and ordinary living entities? It is stated in a prayer, Yam Brahma, Varunendra, Rudra, Marutaha. All of them, including the yogis, worship Lord Vishnu. Dhyana Vasishtha Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino. Yogis concentrate their minds on the form of Lord Vishnu, and thus he is worshipable by all demigods, all Gandharvas, and even by Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. Tad Vishnu Param Padam Sada Pashyanti Suryaha. Vishnu is therefore the supreme personality of Godhead, even though Lord Shiva was previously referred to in prayers by Lord Brahma as the supreme. When Lord Vishnu appeared, Shiva also felt prostrated before him to offer his respectful obeisances. Text 23. Tejasa hataruchaha sanna jivasa sadvasaha मूर्ध्नाद्राताञ्जलिपुता उपतस्थुर adokshajam Tejasa by the glaring effulgence of his body, Hataruchaha having faded lusters, Sana Jiva having silent tongues, Sadvasaha having fear of him, Mrudana with the head, Dhritanjali Putaha with hands touched to the head, Upat Upatastuhu Upat Astuhu Re Adokshajam to Adokshaja, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Translation. In the presence of the glaring effulgence of the bodily luster of Narayana, everyone else's luster faded away, and everyone stopped speaking. Fearful with awe and veneration, they touched their hands to their heads and prayed to offer their prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Adokshaja. Text 24. Apyavagravratayo yasya महित्वामा भुवादयः यथामते ग्रन्थि स्म कृतानुग्रहत्रिग्रहम्. Api still arvak vrittaya beyond the mental activities, yasya whose muhi glory mahi glory to but atmabhu adyaha brahma etc. Yathamati according to their different capacities. Granantisma offered prayers. Krita Anugraha manifested by his grace. Vigraham transcendental form. Translation. Although the mental scope of even demigods like Brahma was unable to comprehend the unlimited glories of the Supreme Lord, they were all able to perceive the transcendental form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead by his grace. Only by such grace could they offer their respectful prayers according to their different capacities. Purport. The Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, is always unlimited, and his glories cannot be completely enumerated by anyone, including a personality like Lord Brahma. It is said that Ananta, a direct incarnation of the Lord, has unlimited mouths, and with each mouth, he has been trying to describe the glories of the Lord for an unlimited span of time. Yet, The glories of the Lord remain unlimited, and he therefore never finishes. It is not possible for any ordinary living entity to understand or to glorify the unlimited personality of Godhead. But one can offer prayers or service to the Lord according to one's particular capacity. This capacity is increased by the service spirit. Stevan Mukhe Jivadao means that the service of the Lord begins with the tongue. This refers to chanting. By chanting Hare Krishna, one begins the service of the Lord. Another function of the tongue is to taste and accept the Lord's prasadam. We have to begin our service to the unlimited with the tongue and become perfect in chanting and accepting the Lord's prasadam. To accept Lord's prasadam means to control the entire set of senses. Wow. To accept the Lord's prasadam means to control the entire set of senses. The tongue is considered to be the most uncontrollable sense because it hankers for so many unwholesome eatables, thereby forcing the living entity into the dungeon of material conditional life. As the living entity transmigrates from one form of life to another, he has to eat so many abominable foodstuffs that finally there is no limit. As a living entity transmigrates as a living entity as a living entity transmigrates from one form of life to another, he has to eat so many abominable foodstuffs. Finally, there's no limit. The tongue should be engaged in chanting and in eating the Lord's prasadam, so that other senses will be controlled. Chanting is a medicine and prasadam is a diet. With these processes, one can begin a service, and as the service increases, the Lord reveals more and more to the devotee. But there is no limit to his glories, and there is no limit to engaging oneself in the service of the Lord. Text 25. Daksha Graha. Prabhu, can you go show the Sanskrit part? That'll be fine. Daksho Grahita Hana Sadhanotam Yagyeshwaram Vishwasrajam Param Guru Yagneshwaram Vishwasrajam Param Gurum Sunudannanda Gnadugrai Pratam Muda Granam Prapadde Prayata Kritanjalihi Daksha, Grihita, accepted, Arana, rightful, Sadhana, Uttamam, sacrificial vessel, Yagneshwaram, unto the master of all sacrifices, Vishwarjam, of all the Prajapatis, Param, the supreme, Gurum, preceptor, Sunandananda, Adi Anugai, by associates like Sunanda, Nanda, etc. Vritam, surrounded. Muda, Muda, with great pleasure. Granan, offering respectful prayers. Prapede, took shelter. Prayataha, having a subdued mind. Krita Anjalihi, with folded hands. Translation: when Lord Vishnu accepted the oblations offered in the sacrifice, Daksha, the Prajapati, began with great pleasure to offer respectful prayers unto him. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is actually the master of all sacrifices and preceptor of all the Prajapatis, and he is served even by such personalities as Nanda and Sunanda. Text 26. Daksha Vacha Shuddham Swa. Okay, this is not clear. Okay. Shuddham Swadhamya Uparatakhila Bhutti Ashwatham Chinmatre Mekam Abhyayam Pratishyatmayam Pratishikdhyamayam Tishtam Swayeva Purushatva Mupetya Yastasya Maste Bhavan Parishuddha Ivatma Tantraha Dakshaha Daksha Uvacha said, Shuddham, pure, Swadhamini, in your abode, Upara, Uparata Akhila, completely turned back, Buddhi Avastham, mental speculative position, Chit Matram, completely spiritual, Ekam, one without a second, Abhayam, fearless, Pratisiddhya, controlling, Mayam, material energy, Tishtan, being situated, Taya, with her, Maya, Eva, certainly, Purushatvam, overseer, Upetya, entering into, Tasyam, in her, Aste is present, Bhavan, your lordship, Aparishuddha, impure, Eva, as if, Atma Tantra, self-sufficient. Translation: Daksha addresses the supreme personality of Godhead. My dear Lord, you are transcendental to all mental speculative positions. You are completely spiritual, devoid of all fearfulness, and you are always in control of of the material energy. Even though you are situated transcendentally, you appear in the material energy. But you are always free from material contamination because you are completely self-sufficient. Text 27. Ritvija Uvacha Tattvam.
Mm. Here is the Ritvik word, Prabhu.
Yeah. What do you say, Prabhu? I didn't hear you.
That here is the Ritvik word in Shastra.
ऋत्विज उवाच तत्त्वं ते वायम् अनाञ्जनरुद्रशापात् करन् कर्मण्ये अवग्राधियो भगवान् विदामः धर्मोपालक्षणम् इदं त्रिविद् अवाराख्यम् ज्ञातं यद् अर्थम् अधिदैवम् अदो व्यवस्थः Ritvija, the priest, Uchuhu began to say, Tattam, truth, na, not te, of your lordship, Vayam, all of us, Ananjana, without material contamination, Rudra, Lord Shiva, Shapat, by his curse, Karmani, in fruitive activities, Avagraha, being too much attached, Diya, of such intelligence, Bhagavan, O Lord, Vidamaha, no, Dharma, religion, Palakshanam, symbolized Idam, this, Tivrit, the three departments of knowledge of the Vedas, Advara, sacrifice, Akhyam, of the name, Nyatam, known to us, Yat, that, Artham, for the matter of, Adidevam, for worshipping the demigods, Adaha, this, Yavastaha, arrangement. Translation: the priest addressed the Lord, saying, O Lord, transcendental to material contamination by the curse offered by Lord Shiva's men, we have become attached to fruitive activities. O Lord, transcendental to material contamination by the curse offered by Shiva's men, we have become attached to fruitive activities, and thus they are now fallen. Therefore, do not know anything about you. On the contrary, we are now involved in the injunctions of the three departments of the Vedic knowledge under the plea of executing rituals in the name of Yajna. We know that you have made arrangements for distributing the respective shares of the demigods. Purport: the Vedas are known as Traiguna Vishaya Vedaha. Those who are serious students of Vedas are very much attached to the ritualistic ceremonies mentioned in the Vedas, and therefore these Vedavadis cannot understand the ultimate goal of the Vedas is to understand not Krishna or Vishnu. Those who have transcended the qualitative attractions, however, can understand Krishna, who is never contaminated by the material qualities. Therefore, Lord Vishnu is addressed as Anan, Ananjana, free from material contaminations. In Bhagavad Gita, the crude Vedic scholars have been deprecated by Krishna as follows. Yam imam pushpitam macham pravadanti avipaschitaha. Vedavada Ratha Partha Nanyat Asti Vadinaha. Men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, and they say that there is nothing more than this. Bhagavad Gita 242. Prabhu, can someone take over from here?
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, I am here.
Oh,
Hare Krishna,
Harigol.
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Praveen, Prabhu, and Vivek, Prabhu, Dana, Pram, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Just Dhanam Puran, Jai Sri Prabhupada. Yeah, I can continue from here, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. We will read like 20 minutes more. Let's see.
Okay. Text 28.
How long is this chapter? Oh, yeah, very long.
Yeah, around 50, I think.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Text 28. Sadasya Uchuhu Upatti Adhavani Asharana Uru Klesha Durge Antakogra Vyalanvishte Vishaya Mriga Trishi Atma Gehoru Bharaha Dvandva Swabhre Khala Mriga Bahe Shoka Davaha Ajna Ajna 1 second. अज्ञसार्थः पादोकस्ते शरणदा कदा याति कामोपशिष्टः. Synonyms. Sadasyaha, the members of the assembly, Uchuhu said, Utpatti, repeated birth and death, Advani, on the path of Asharanye, not having a place to take shelter, Uru, great, Klesha, troublesome, Durge, in the formidable fort, Antaka, termination, Ugra, ferocious, Vyala, snakes, Anvishte, being infested with Vishaya, material happiness, Murga Trishi, mirage, Atma, body, Geha, home, Uru, heavy, Bharaha, burden, Dvandva, jewel, Prabhre, holes, ditches of so-called happiness and distress, Khala, ferocious, Murga, animals, Bhaye, being afraid of, Shokadave, the forest fire of lamentation, Ajna, Sartha, for the interest of the Ajnasartha, for the interest of the rascals, Padu Padaukaha, shelter of your lotus feet, Te unto you, Sharanada, giving shelter, Kada, when, Yati, went, Kama Upashritaha, being afflicted by all sorts of desires. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, His Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: the members of the assembly addressed the Lord, O exclusive shelter for all who are situated in troubled life in this formidable fort of conditional existence. The time element, like a snake, is always looking for an opportunity to strike. This world is full of ditches of so-called distress and happiness, and there are many ferocious animals always ready to attack. The fire of lamentation is always blazing, and the mirage of false happiness is always alluring, but one has no shelter from them. Thus, foolish persons live in the cycle of birth and death, always overburdened in discharging their so called duties, and we do not know when they will accept the shelter of your lotus feet.
Oh Krishna, there is the snake. I'm scared of snakes.
Time is always compared with snake, Prabhu. We call it as Kala Sarpa in Sanskrit.
Yes, Prabhu. Which one was this verse? 4:728. Let's see if it's in the notes already. Oh, it's not. Okay, while we continue, I will add it.
Purport. Persons who are not in Krishna consciousness are living in a very precarious life as described in this verse, but all these circumstantial conditions are due to forgetfulness of Krishna. The Krishna consciousness movement is not meant to give relief to all these bewildered and distressed persons. Therefore, it is the greatest relief work for all human society, and the workers thereof are the greatest well-wishers, for they follow in the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya, who is the greatest friend to all living entities. Text 29. Rudra Uvacha Tava Varada Varangrav आशिषेहाखिलार्थे ह्यपि मुनिभिर् असक्तैर् आदरेणार्हणि ये यदि धियं मा विद्य लोकोपविद्धं जपति न गणये तत् त्वत् परानुग्रहेण. Synonyms. Rudra Uvacha, Lord Shiva said, Tava, your Varada, O Supreme Benefactor, Vara Angrau, precious lotus feet, Ashish, Ashisha, by desire, Ashisha, by desire, Iha, in the material world, Akhila Arthe, for fulfillment, He Api, certainly, Munibihi, by the sages, Asaktaihi, liberated, Adarena, with care, Arhaniye, worshipable, Yadi, if Rachita Dhyam, mind fixed, me, Avidya Lokaha, the ignorant person's Apavidham, unpurified activity, Japati utters, na Ganaye, don't value, tat it, Tvat para anugrahena, by compassion like yours. Translation. Lord Shiva said, Translation. Lord Shiva said, My dear Lord, my mind and consciousness are always fixed on your lotus feet, which, as the source of all benediction and the fulfillment of all desires, are worshipped by all liberated great sages because they are worthy of worship. With my mind fixed on your lotus feet, I am no longer disturbed by persons who blaspheme me, claiming that my activities are not purified. I don't mind these accusations, and I excuse them out of compassion, just as you exhibit compassion towards all living entities. Purport. Lord Shiva expresses herein his regret at being angry and disturbing the sacrificial activities of Daksha. King Daksha had insulted him in many ways, and thus he had become angry and had frustrated the entire sacrificial ceremony. Later, when he was pleased with them, the yajna performances were reinstituted, and therefore he regretted his activities. Now he says that due to his mind's being fixed on the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord Vishnu, he is no longer disturbed by the ordinary critics of his way of life. From this statement of Lord Shiva, it is understood that as long as one is on the material platform, he is affected by the three modes of material nature. As soon as he is in Krishna consciousness, however, one is no longer affected by such material activities. One should therefore always be fixed in Krishna consciousness, busy in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. It is guaranteed that such a devotee will never be affected by the actions and reactions of the three modes of material nature. This fact is also corroborated in the Bhagavad Gita. Anyone who is fixed in the transcendental service of the Lord has surpassed all the material qualities and is situated in the status of Brahman realization, in which one is not afflicted by hankering for material objects. The recommendation of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is that one should always be Krishna conscious and should never forget his transcendental relationship with the Lord. This program has to be followed strictly by everyone. For the statement of Lord Shiva, it is understood that he was always in Krishna consciousness and thus he remained free from material affliction. The only remedy is therefore to continue Krishna consciousness rigidly in order to get out of the contamination of the material modes. Text 30. Bhruguruvacha यन्मायया गहनया पत्रितात्म बोधा ब्रह्मादयस् तनु वृतस् तमसि स्वपन्तः नात्मन् सीतं तव विदन्ति अधुनापि तत्त्वं सोऽयं प्रसीदौ भवान् प्रणतात्म बन्धुः. Synonyms: Bhrugu Uvacha. Sri Bhrugu said, Yet who Mayaya by illusory energy, Gahanaya insurmountable, Apahrita stolen, Atma Bodhaha knowledge of the constitutional position, Brahma Adayaha the Lord Brahma, etc. Tanu Britaha embodied living entities, Tamasi in the darkness of illusion, Swapantaha lying down, not Atman in the living entity, Sitam situated in Tava your Vidanti understand. Adhuna, now, api, certainly, tattvam, absolute position, saha, you, I am, this, prasidattu, be kind, bhavan, your lordship, pranata, atma, surrendered soul, bandhuhu, friend. Translation: Sri Bhrigu said, My dear Lord, all living entities, beginning from the highest, namely Lord Brahma, down to the ordinary ant, are under the influence of the insurmountable spell of illusory energy, and thus they are ignorant of their constitutional position. Everyone believes in the concept of the body, and thus all are submerged in the darkness of illusion. They are actually unable to understand how you live in every living entity as the supersoul, nor can they understand your absolute position. But you are the eternal friend and protector of all surrendered souls. Therefore, please be kind towards us and forgive all our offenses. Purport: Bhrigumuni was conscious of the scandalous behavior exhibited by each and every one of them, including Brahma and Lord Shiva, in the sacrificial ceremony of Daksha. By mentioning Brahma, the chief of all living entities within this material world, he wanted to state that everyone, including also Brahma and Lord Shiva, is under the concept of the body and under the spell of material energy, all but Vishnu. That is the version of Bhrigu. As long as one is under the concept of the body as self, it is very difficult to understand the super soul or the supreme personality of Godhead. Conscious that he was not greater than Brahma, Bhrigu included himself in the list of offenders. Ignorant personalities or conditioned souls have no choice but to accept their precarious condition under material nature. The only remedy is to surrender to Vishnu and always pray to be excused. One should depend only on the causeless mercy of the Lord for deliverance and not even slightly on one's own strength. That is the perfect position of a Krishna conscious person. The Lord is everyone's friend, but he is especially friendly to the surrendered soul. The simple process is therefore that a conditioned soul should remain surrendered to the Lord, and the Lord will give him all protection to keep him out of the clutches of material contamination. Text 31. Brahmovacha naitat swarupam bhavatosau padartha bheda grahaihi पुरुषो यावद् ईक्षेत् ज्ञानस्य चार्थस्य गुणस्य चाश्रयो मायामयाद् व्यतिरिक्तो matastvam. Synonyms of Brahma Uvacha. Lord Brahma said, not etat this swarupam, eternal form, bhavataha, your asau, that order, pada, artha, knowledge, Bheda different, grahai, grahaihi, by the acquiring Gurushaha person, Purushaha person, Yavat, as long as Ikshet wants to see Jnanasya of knowledge, Cha also Arthasya of the objective, Gunasya of the instruments of knowledge, Cha also Ashrayaha, the basis, Maya Mayat, from being made of material energy, Vatiriktaha, distinct, Vyatiriktaha, distinct Mataha regarded Tvam you. Translation. Lord Brahma said, my dear Lord, your personality and eternal form cannot be understood by any person who is trying to know you through knowledge. Through the different process of acquiring knowledge. Your position is always transcendental to the material creation, whereas the empiric attempt to understand you is material, as are its objectives and instruments. Purport. It is said that the transcendental name, qualities, activities, paraphernalia, etc. of the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be understood with our material senses. The attempt of the empiric philosophers to understand the absolute truth by speculation is always futile, because their process of understanding, their objective, and the instruments by which they try to understand the absolute truth are all material. The Lord is aprakrita, beyond the creation of the material world. This fact is also accepted by the great impersonalist Sankaracharya. Narayana paro vyaktad andam avyakta sambhavam. Avyakta, or the original material cause, is beyond this material manifestation and is the cause of the material world. Because Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is beyond the material world. One cannot speculate upon him by any material method. One has to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead simply by the transcendental method of Krishna consciousness. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 18:55. Bhaktya Mama Abhijanati. Only by devotional service one can understand the transcendental form of the Lord. That is the difference between the impersonalists and the personalists. The impersonalists, limited by their speculative processes, cannot even approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whereas the devotees please the Supreme Personality of Godhead through his transcendental loving service. Sevon Mukhehi. Due to the service attitude of the devotee, the Lord is revealed to him. The Supreme Lord cannot be understood by materialistic persons, even though he is present before them. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna therefore condemns such impersonalists as Modha. Modha means rascal. It is said in the Gita, only rascals think of Lord Krishna as an ordinary person. They do not know what Lord Krishna's position is or what his transcendental potencies are. Hmm.
Haribol, the computer ran out of battery.
Not a problem. So, in the Bhagavad Gita, let's continue. So, in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna therefore condemns such materialistics as Mudas. Muda means rascal. It is said in the Gita, only rascals think of Lord Krishna, as an ordinary person. They do not know what Lord Krishna's position is or what his transcendental potencies are. Unaware of his transcendental potencies, the impersonalists deride the person of Lord Krishna, whereas the devotees, by dint of their service attitude, can understand him as the personality of Godhead. In the 10th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna also confirmed that it is very difficult to understand the personality of the Lord. Text 32. Indra Uvacha Idamapi Achyuta Vishwa Bhavanam Vapur Ananda Karma Manodrusham Sura Vidvit Shapanair Udayudhair Bhuja Dandair Upapannam Ashtabhihi synonyms. Indra Uvacha, Indra, King Indra said, Idam, this api, certainly Achyuta, oh, infallible one, Vishwa Bhavanam, for the welfare of the universe, Vapuhu, transcendental form, Ananda Karma, a cause of pleasure, Manah Drisham, to the mind and the eye, Sara Vidvish, envious of your devotees, Shapanaihi, by punishment, Uda Yudhaihi, with uplifted weapons, Bhuja Dandaihi, with arms, Upapannam, possessed of Ashtabhi, with 8. Translation. King Indra said, My dear Lord, your transcendental form, with 8 hands and weapons in each of them, appears for the welfare of the entire universe, and it is very pleasing to. I have not completed the translation yet, Prabhu. Uh, uh, King Indra said, My dear Lord, your transcendental form with 8 hands and weapons in each of them appears for the welfare of the entire universe, and it is very pleasing to the mind and eyes. In such a form, your lordship is always prepared to punish the demons who are envious of your devotees. Purport. It is generally understood from revealed scriptures that Lord Vishnu appears with 4 hands, but in this particular sacrificial arena, Lord Vishnu arrived with 8 hands. King Indra said, even though we are accustomed to seeing your four-handed Vishnu form, still this appearance with 8 hands is as real as the four-handed forms. As Lord Brahma had said, to realize the transcendental form of the Lord is beyond the power of the senses. In reply to that statement of Brahma, King Indra here says that even though the transcendental form of the Lord is not perceivable by the material senses, his activities and his transcendental form can be understood. The Lord's uncommon features, uncommon activities, and uncommon beauty can be perceived even by an ordinary man. For example, when Lord Krishna appeared just like a 6 or 7-year-old boy in Vrindavana, he was approached by the residents there. There were torrents of rain, and the Lord saved the residents of Vrindavana by lifting Govardhana hill and resting it on the little finger of his left hand for 7 days. This uncommon feature of the Lord should convince even materialistic persons who want to speculate to the limit of their material senses. The activities of the Lord are pleasing to experimental vision also, but impersonalists will not believe in his identity because they study the personality of the Lord by comparing their personality to his. Because men in this material world cannot lift a hill, they therefore do not believe that the Lord can lift one. They accept the statements of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam to be allegorical, and they try to interpret them in their own way. But factually, the Lord lifted the hill in the presence of all the inhabitants of Vrindavana, as corroborated by great acharyas and others like Vyasadeva and Narada. Everything about the Lord, his activities, pastimes, and uncommon features. Come on, Prabhu. Uncommon features should be accepted as is, and in this way, even in our present condition, we can understand the Lord. In the instance herein, King Indra confirms your presence with 8 hands is as good as your presence with 4 hands. There is no doubt about it. Text 33. Patnivacha यज्ञोऽयं तव यजानाय केन सृष्टो विध्वस्तः पशुपति नाद्य दक्षकोपात् तं नस् त्वं शव शयनाभाशान्त मेधं यज्ञात्मान् नलिनरुचा दृशा पुनीः. Synonyms: Patre Vacha, the wives of the executors of the sacrifice. Patre Uchuhu, the wives of the executors of the sacrifice said, Yajnaha, the sacrifice, Ayam, this, Tava, your, Yajanaya, worshipping, Kena, by Brahma, Trishtaha, arranged, Vidvastaha, devastated, Pashupatina, by Lord Shiva, Adya, today, Daksha Kopat, from anger at Daksha, Tam, It, Naha, our, Tam, Tvam, you, Shava, Sayana, dead bodies, Abha, like Shanta Medham, the still sacrificial animals, Yajnatma, O Lord of sacrifice, Nalina, lotus, Rucha, beautiful Drisha, by the vision of your eyes, Punihi, sanctify. Translation: the wives of the performers of the sacrifice said, My dear Lord, this sacrifice was arranged under the instruction of Brahma, but unfortunately, Lord Shiva, being angry at Daksha, devastated the entire scene, and because of his anger, the animals meant for sacrifice are lying dead. Therefore, the preparations of the yajna have been lost. Now, by the glance of your lotus eyes, the sanctity of this sacrificial arena may be again invoked. Purport: animals were offered in sacrifice in order to give them renewed life. That was the purpose of having animals there. Offering an animal in sacrifice and giving him renewed life is the evidence of the strength of chanting mantras. Unfortunately, when Daksha's sacrifice was devastated by Lord Shiva, some of the animals were killed. One was killed just to replace the head of Daksha. Their bodies were lying about, and the sacrificial arena was turned into a crematorium. Thus, the real purpose of yajna was lost. Lord Shiva, being the ultimate object of such sacrificial ceremonies, was requested by the wives of the priests to glance over the yajna arena with his causeless mercy so that the routine work of the yajna might be continued. The purport here is that animals should not be unnecessarily killed. They were used to prove the strength of the mantras and were to have been rejuvenated by the use of the mantras. They should not have killed as they were by Lord Shiva to replace the head of Daksha with an animal's head. It was pleasing to see an animal sacrificed and rejuvenated, and that pleasing atmosphere had been lost. The wives of the priests requested that the animals be brought back to life by the glance of Lord Vishnu to make a pleasing yajna. Text 34. Rushaya Vachaha, Rushaya Uchuhu, अनन्वितं ते भगवन् विचेष्टितं यदात्मना चरसि हि कर्म नाज्यसे विभूतये यत उपसेदुर् ईश्वरीं न मन्यते स्वयं अनुवर्ततीं भवान्. Synonyms: ऋषयः, the sages, Uchuhu, prayed, Ananvitam, wonderful, Te, your Bhagavan, O possessor of all opulences, Vicheshtitam, activities, Yat, which, Atmana, by your potencies, Charasi, you execute, He, certainly, Karma, to such activities, Na, Ajyase, you are not attached, Vibhutaye, for her mercy, Yataha, from whom, Upaseduhu, worshipped, Ishwarim, Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, na manyate, are not attached, Swayam, yourself, anuvartatim, to your obedient servant Lakshmi, Bhavan, your lordship. Translation: The sages prayed, Dear Lord, your activities are most wonderful, and although you do everything by your different potencies, you are not at all attached to such activities. You are not even attached to the goddess of fortune, who is worshipped by the great demigods like Brahma, who pray to achieve her mercy. Purport. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that the Lord has no desire to achieve any result from this from his wonderful activities, nor has he any need to perform them. But still, in order to give an example to people in general, he sometimes acts, and those activities are very wonderful. He is not attached to anything. Na mam karmani limpanti. Although he acts very wonderfully, he is not at all attached to anything. Bhagavad Gita 4:14. He is self-sufficient. The example is given here that the goddess of fortune Lakshmi is always engaged in the service of the Lord, but still he is not attached to her. Even great demigods like Brahma worship the goddess of fortune in order to win her favor. And though the Lord is worshipped by many hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune, still he is not at all attached to any one of them. This distinction concerning the exalted transcendental position of the Lord is specifically mentioned by the great sages. He is not like the ordinary living entity who is attached to the result of pious activities. Text 35. सिद्धा ऊचुः सिद्धा ऊचुः अयं तत्त्व कथा मृष्ट पीयूष नन्द नन्द्यां मनोवार वारणः क्लेश दावाग्नि दग्धः त्रिशार्थो व गाढो न सस्मार दावं न विश्रा विश्रामति भव ब्रह्म संपन्नवम नः. Synonyms: siddhaः, the siddhas. Uchuhu, prayed. Ayam, this. Tat, katha, your pastimes. Mrishta, pure. Piyusha, of nectar. Nadyam, in the river. Manaha, of the mind. Varanaha, the elephant. Klesha, sufferings. Davagni, by the forest fire. Dagdaha, burnt. Trisha, thirst. Arthaha, afflicted. Avagadaha, being immersed. Na sasmara, does not remember. Davam, the forest fire or the miseries. Na nishkramati, not come out. Brahma, the absolute. Sampannavat, like having merged. Naha, our. Translation: The Siddhas prayed like an elephant that has suffered in a forest fire, but can forget all its troubles by entering a river. Our minds, O Lord, always merge in the nectarian river of your transcendental pastimes, and they desire never to leave such transcendental bliss, which is as good as the pleasure of merging in the absolute. Purport: This statement is from the Siddhas, the inhabitants of the Siddhaloka, where the 8 kinds of material perfection are complete. The residents of Siddhaloka have full control in the 8 kinds of yogic perfection, but from their statement it appears that they are pure devotees. They always merge in the nectarian river of hearing of the pastimes of the Lord. Hearing of the pastimes of the Lord is called Krishna Katha. Similarly, there is a statement by Prahlad Maharaj that those who are always merged in the ocean of the nectar of describing the pastimes of the Lord are liberated. They have no fear of the material condition of life. The Siddhas say that the mind of an ordinary person is full of anxieties. The example is given of the elephant who has suffered in a forest fire and who enters into a river to relieve himself. If persons who are suffering the forest fire of this material existence will only enter into the nectarian river of the description of the pastimes of the Lord, they will forget all the troubles of the miserable material existence. The Siddhas do not care for fruitive activities such as performing sacrifices and achieving the good results. They simply merge in the transcendental discussions of the pastimes of the Lord. That makes them completely happy without care for pious or impious activities. For those who are always in Krishna consciousness, there is no need to perform any kind of pious or impious sacrifices or activities. Krishna consciousness is itself complete, for it includes all the processes praised in the Vedic scriptures. Text 36. Yajamani uvacha swagatam te prasidesha tubhyam namaha Srinivasa Shriya Kantaya trahi naha tvam rite dhisa nangair मखः शोभते श्रीश हीनः क बन्धो यथा पुरुषः synonyms Yajamani, the wife of Daksha, Uvacha, prayed. Su agatam, auspicious appearance, te, your Rasida, become pleased, Isha, my dear Lord, Tubhyam, unto you, Namaha, respectful obeisances, Srinivasa, O abode of the goddess of fortune, Sriya, with Lakshmi, Kantaya, your wife, Trahi, protect, Naha, as Twam, you, Rite, without Adhisha, O supreme controller, Na, not Angaihi, with bodily limbs, Makha, the sacrificial arena, Shobhate, is beautiful, Srisha Hinaha, without the head, Sirsha Hinaha, without the head, Ka Bandaha, possessed by only a body, Yatha, as Purushaha, a person. Translation: the wife of the Daksha prayed as follows: My dear Lord, it is very fortunate that you have appeared in this arena of sacrifice. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, and I request that you be pleased on this occasion. The sacrificial arena is not beautiful without you, just as a body is not beautiful without the head. Purport: another name of Lord Vishnu is Yajneshwara. Another name of Lord Vishnu is Yajneshwara. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that all activities should be performed as Vishnu Yajna for the pleasure of Lord Vishnu. Unless we please him, whatever we do is the cause of our bondage in the material world. It is confirmed herein by the wife of Daksha. Without your presence, the grandeur of this sacrificial ceremony is useless, just as a body without the head, however decorated it may be, is useless. The comparison is equally applicable to the social body. Material civilization is very proud of being advanced, but it is actually the useless trunk of a body without a head. Without Krishna consciousness, without an understanding of Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, an advancement is a civilization. Any advancement in a civilization, no matter how sophisticated, is of no value. That is a statement in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Bhagavad Bhakti Hinasya Jatihi Shastram Japas Tapas Apana Saiva Dehasya Mandanam Loka Rajnaman. The purport is that sometimes when a friend or relative dies, especially amongst lower class men, the dead body is decorated, dressed and ornamented. The body is taken in procession. The sort of decoration of the dead body has no actual value because the life force is already gone. Similarly, any aristocracy, any social prestige, or any advancement of material civilization without Krishna consciousness is as good as the decoration of a dead body. The name of the wife of Daksha was Prasuti, and she was the daughter of Swayambhuva Manu. Her sister Devahuti was married to Kardama Muni, and Kapiladeva, the personality of Godhead, became her son. Prasuti then was the aunt of Lord Vishnu. She was asking the favor of Lord Vishnu in an affectionate mode. Since she was his aunt, he sought some special favor. Also, significant in this verse is that the Lord is praised by the goddess of fortune. Whenever Lord Vishnu is worshipped, naturally there is the favor of the goddess of fortune. Lord Vishnu is addressed here as Amrita, transcendental. The demigods, including Brahma and Lord Shiva, were produced after the creation, but Lord Vishnu existed before the creation. He is addressed therefore as Amrita. Lord Vishnu is worshipped with his internal energy by the Vaishnavas. Prasuti, the wife of Daksha, implored the Lord to turn the priests into Vaishnavas instead of simply fruitive workers performing sacrifices for some material benefits.
Okay, one more.
Text 37. Lokapala ऊचुः दृष्टः किं नो दृग्भिर् असद् ग्रहैस्त्वं प्रत्यग् दृष्टा दृश्यते येन विश्वं माया हि एषा भवदीया हि भूमन् यस्त्वं षष्ठः पञ्चभिर्भासि भूतैः synonyms lokapalaah, the governors of the different planets Uchuhu said Drishtva seen Kim whether Naha by us Drigvihi by the material senses Asat Grahaihi revealing the cosmic manifestation Tvam you Pratyak Drishta inner witness Drishyate is seen Ena by whom Vishwam the universe Maya material world he because Esha this Bhavadiya your he certainly Bhuman oh possessor of the universe Yaha because from you Shashtaha the sixth Panchabihi with the five Bhasi appear Bhutaihi with the elements. Translation: the governors of various planets spoke as follows: Dear Lord, we believe only in our direct perception, but under the circumstances, we do not know whether we have actually seen you with our material senses. By our material senses, we can simply perceive the cosmic manifestation, but you are beyond the five elements. You are the sixth. We see you, therefore, as a creation of the material world. Purport: the governors of the various planets are certainly very materially opulent and puffed up. Such persons are unable to understand the transcendental, eternal form of the Lord. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated that only persons who have anointed their eyes with love of Godhead can see the personality of Godhead in every step of their activities. Also, in the prayers of Kunti, it is said, Akinchana Gocharam, that only those who are not materially puffed up can see the personality of Godhead. Others are bewildered and cannot even think of the absolute truth. Bhagavatam 1.8.26.
Prabhu. Okay, thank you so much, Prabhu. Then we need to go to six Astakam prayers.
Prabhu, Prabhu,
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, could you give me a summary from the verse 28? Actually, I was not there.
Yes, Prabhu, I also want Prabhu this.
Maybe you can show the translations.
Yes, Prabhu. Interesting verse.
So, Praveen Prabhu, you can give some summary in your words.
In fact, see, after the sacrificial ceremony conducted by Daksha Yajna was completely devastated by the anger of Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu appeared in that arena, sacrificial arena, and everyone in that assembly have started glorifying the Lord because he is the Yajneswara. He is none other than Yajna himself. So since the yajna was going on, he is the original benefactor of that yajna. So everyone has started, including Daksha and Daksha's wife, have started glorifying the Lord praising him that he is beyond this material creation, and he is the one who created the material worlds. So they have started uh, praising or glorifying him in accordance to their capacity, including Brahma and other demigods like Shiva, Daksha, um, uh, what is Gandhas. There's some other there are some other demigods as well. Okay, that's this is particularly about the presence of the Lord, the appearance of the Lord in that arena, and everyone has started praising him.
Yes, Prabhu.
Lokapalas, there are
Hare
other
Krishna
demigods,
Prabhu,
Lokapalas,
cannot
Gandharvas.
come to all of you.
Sorry, Prabhu. Prabhu, did you say anything?
Prabhu, I said Hare Krishna, Dandot Pranam to
Okay.
all of you, Jai Sri Prabhupada.
Yeah, thank you,
Because
Prabhu.
I
That
have
was planned to you.
forgotten.
Yeah, no problem. So the most important point to be noted here in this chapter is, see, one cannot control one's senses or come out of this material contamination without being involved in Krishna consciousness. Okay, if we don't focus our mind on the lotus feet of Lord, it is highly impossible for us to get out of this contamination. We cannot. We become anxious and we cannot come out of it. Okay. In one of the verses, I think Bhrigu or someone said that point as well. Maybe open that, go to the translation of that verse 30, bro. Somewhere it is
And
clearly
that
mentioned.
elephant was very nice, Prabhu. Elephant description. I
Ah,
mean, a
exactly.
forest
Exactly.
fire.
Exactly. Yeah. Elephants experience the uh, fire of the forest, and when it enters into the river, it becomes relaxed. Okay, relieved from that pain. Similarly, when we are in this fire of material existence, so we cannot get the relief unless we are involved in the Krishna consciousness, in the Krishna consciousness service or devotional service of the Lord.
Yes, Prabhu. Nice conclusion.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
So, Prabhu, what was that? Was Prabhu elephant like?
Where is the elephant? I just heard the snake.
Yes, Prabhu.
Elephant.
Elephant forest
Yes.
fire. What was that? What?
Praveen, Prabhu, which verse it is? Oh, here.
25.
35. 35,
Okay,
Prabhu.
okay.
Like an elephant that has suffered in a forest fire but can forget all its troubles by entering a river of mind, so Lord, always merge in the nectarine river of your transcendental pastimes. Yes, our mind is like elephant who needs to go to the river. This is interesting. Okay, but now we go to 6 Ashtakam prayers. Haribol. Tomorrow is most auspicious day, so we need to prepare for this day.
So, Prabhu, what was the time today you started?
1 hour, 20 minutes ago.
Okay. Means seven.
Yes, Prabhu. Oh, Gaura Shakti Prabhu is like, Let's quickly see what is going
Seigneur,
on.
c'est comme le soleil et ses rayons. Le soleil, et on a la planète,
Oh, so
le
many
globe.
comments.
Ensuite, on a le feu, fusion sur le soleil. Ensuite, on a aussi ses rayons, chaleur et ses rayons. Les rayons nous atteignent. Donc,
Prabhu,
dès
I have
lors,
to take a leave now, Prabhu. Let me go.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much for your
Thank
association
you.
and reading.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. I have a call now.
Thank you, Prabhu. I need to leave as well. Thank you for your suggestion. Once again, Prabhu,
Yes,
Shri
Prabhu. Thank you so
Pasamudachala,
much.
Paravishya
Manuswar
Namo.
Manchar Kripa Sindhu
Bhagavatam Vasindavycha Patanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha.
चेतो दर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादवाग्निर्वापनं श्रेयः कैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् अनन्तभूतवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतस्वादनं सर्वात्मास्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनम्
नाम नामकार
नाम
भवता
नाम
सर्वशक्ति तत्रार्पिता नियमिता स्मरणेन काल एतादृशीतो कृपापगोन्ममापि दुर्दैव मे दिस्मयाजन्नानुराग
नादपि तु नीचे न तरोरपि सहिष्णुनामानेन मानदेन कीर्तनीया सदा हरि
धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां मा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनि ईश्वरे भवतात् भक्तिरहेतु गीतये
किङ्करं पतितां मां विश्वे भवां बुधौ कृपया तव पादपङ्कजास्थितधूलिशदृशं चिन्तय
नयनं गलदस्तुधारया वदनं गतगतहृदया गिरा पुलकैर्निजितं वपुः कदासौ नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति
युगायितं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्राविर्शायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे
मत्प्राणनाथस्य सेवनापरः
Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names, like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by chanting your holy name. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind,
Chant
thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
O Almighty God, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, no desire to be full, no desire to count any number of followers. I only want to possess devotion service birth after birth.
O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other, I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of atoms of your lotus feet.
Oh my Lord, when will my eyes be great? Be my eyes be decorated with the love, the tears of love flowing constant to chant your holy name and you. Heirs of my body stand on at the station.
O Govinda, feeling your separation, I'm considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence.
I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly or in his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. Krishna Mahaprabhu ki jai.
Jai.
This is Shakti ki jai.
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 So
Really more.
Prabhu, this time it Gal Purnima very special because there is eclipse of also.
Yes, Prabhu, Gora Purnima is always a pretty special day. Tomorrow.
This
So we do
time there
fasting
is
until noon.
eclipse also.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, if we how we should celebrate Prabhu if we learn in my home like
We do the
I do
fasting until
fasting and
moonrise.
yes after
Then can
Ekadashi Prasadam.
yes, Ekadashi Prasadam after the moonrise.
Prabhu, can we take water?
Until moonrise, there is no water.
Yes, Prabhu. Usually we done Nirjal until moonrise, but according to one's health situation, one can
Okay.
adjust.
Okay,
Prabhu, Prabhu, uh, like, um, without association of devotees, how we can do Prabhu in alone in our room. Like we can do fasting, but other than
Yes,
fasting,
Prabhu.
what can we do?
Yeah, the same things as usually we do, and we should do the reading. We can read some pastime, and we can sing some kirtan. Listen, there is many nice bhajan kirtan. Then we can have some. We will have some session also, and yes, Prabhu, like this today will go. And can chant extra rounds. Extra rounds are really nice on this day. Together we can chant extra rounds.
Okay.
Yes, Prabhu, there's many things. And can cook. You can make the preparations before the moonrise. I will make some potatoes and different like fruits and vegetables like that.
Very good.
Prabhu, so we can't have grains
Yes,
tomorrow.
Prabhu, I will try.
The fasting is done.
Yes, Prabhu, no grains tomorrow.
No, Prabhu.
Okay, cool. Thank you for letting me know, Prabhu. I was about to have grains.
Siddharth Prabhu,
Yeah.
no problem to you. Yes,
All
Prabhu.
Another Prabhu, Jai Shri Krishna. Prabhu.
Bahujanma Karayati Shamana Kirtan, Tabutana Paya Krishna Pada Pramadan. If one is infested with the 10 offenses in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for many birds, he will not get the love of God. That is the ultimate goal of this chanting. The 10 offenses against the holy name are as follows. The first offense is to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord.
Second offense is to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu.
third offense to dissolve the order of the spiritual master.
Fourth offense to blaspheme the Vedic church or liturgy in Persians to the Vedic version.
The fifth offense to consider the
offense
glories
is-
of chanting Hare Krishna to win imagination.
Sixth offense is to give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord.
Seventh offense to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord. Eighth offense to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna is to be one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as spiritual activities, Karmakanda. Ninth offense to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10th offense to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who comes to the Vaishnava must guard against the offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema.
Haribol.
I offer my respectful obeisance unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like desire trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen souls. Vanchakalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubhascha Bhagavato Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
And the
Thank
Gaudiya
you so
Vaishnava
much,
ki
Prabhu.
jai.
Hare Krishna. Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande. Haribol.
Jai.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for recitation.
Haribol.
See you again tomorrow on the most auspicious day
Thank
of
you so
Gaura
much,
Purnima.
Prabhu.
Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Haribol.
Haribol.
Jai Shri Prabhupada.